Hi everybody, Debra here. Thanks for being on my channel today. I am staying in the Mojave Desert for the summer. One, getting my RV, my new to me RV, Freebird, ready for the road, and two, getting my home base set up. Enjoy the video today as I share with you all of my tips, tricks, and tools that I have learned for staying cool in blistering heat. Of course, being in an RV park and being able to plug in affords you luxuries like running your air conditioner. But in triple-digit weather, the air conditioner can't always keep up, so you need to provide it some help. Shade helps, but if you're out boondocking like I like to do and will be doing, you can't always get shade if you have fixed solar on your roof. I have 300 watts currently and will soon have 500 watts of solar and 300 amp hour batteries, and I may add to that, but it's not enough to run an air conditioner that will keep this RV cool, 23 feet. A lot of people have said, well, just add a window unit to the RV like you did the vans. Well, that works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. For one, I'm going to be traveling, and as I boondock, I can't use my window unit or the rooftop, so that's kind of a double waste right there. And two, it hanging out the window and everything, and then having to travel with that is not something I want to do, and it's really not necessary with my rooftop air conditioner, and this air conditioner will not keep up with an RV. It barely, in triple-digit weather, keeps the van cool. So what can you do? Well, I'm going to share some tips with you right now. Like I said, shade helps if you're not having to use your solar, and I've got shade on both sides of my RV, which really helps. The other thing that helps is to keep your windows covered, or especially your windshield, because it is such a huge piece of glass on the outside. This is a wonderful cover that happened to come with my RV, and you can let the front down so that you can see out the windshield if you wanted to, but of course in the summer I am keeping that up to keep the window from getting hot. And also on the sides, because I have shade, I'm able to leave this down. But if I didn't have shade, I would roll these up so that my side windows didn't even get hot. You can also do like Robert has done here with his van. This is a white vinyl tablecloth, and I believe he got it at Walmart, and that covers it just tucks in the doors and covers the front windshield. Again, you don't want the glass to get hot from the outside if at all possible. Use your awnings when at all possible, again, to keep the glass from getting hot. I'm up very early this morning to bring you guys this video and get it shot before it gets too hot. I think it's like 6 a.m. And so I have turned my air conditioner off to give it a break, and I have my door open. But in triple-digit weather, you want to be sure that you close up and have everything cool before it starts getting hot, and then don't open back up again unless you have to keep that cool air inside. Here in triple-digit weather, often the water is so hot coming out of the faucet that I don't even need to turn on the hot water. And so you want to be sure that you can keep your hoses cool. I have my main hose, my water hose, covered in cord, and I will put a link in the video description of where I got this on Amazon, because it's hard to find this thickness. And you can see that I have exposed hose without this cord on it underneath the tree, and I've actually ordered some more because I think it's going to help even underneath the tree. A lot of people, even for their sewer hose, they cover it with either Reflectix or some sort of barrier. I've even seen people that are staying full-time in an RV park put a gutter over their hose. Well, that's great, but I plan on traveling a lot, so I don't want to have to store a gutter to cover my hose. This one is not covered. It is older, and I will be replacing it, and when I replace it, I will figure out what I want to cover my sewer hose with. And I welcome any suggestions that you have on that, because I've been looking, and you can't really wrap something around it with zip ties, because then you have to make it go back to accordion shape to store it. And I'm going to be putting a PVC pipe along my back bumper to store my sewer hose in, and so it's got to fit in there, and so I have to be careful what I put over this to protect it from the sun. So I welcome any suggestions that you have on that, but I highly recommend covering as much as you can, including your tires, and that doesn't have to do with staying cool, but as long as you're protecting things on the outside, make sure you protect your tires too. A lot of people have asked me, what about putting up an awning or tarps or shade cloth? Well, I have all of that, but here in the RV park with the trees and everything that I have at my site, it's not really necessary. But you can see what my neighbor has done with their Airstream. They have put a canopy type cloth over the back side of it and over the front side, which both face east and west. As I continue to set up my home base here over the next couple of years or so, I hope to be able to put up an awning or a carport, which this RV park will let me, that will go over my RV. But not all RV parks will let you do that. To minimize the sun glaring into the RV, or whether you're in a van, you usually want to park to where the sun is not shining in, or shining in the least glass or the least amount of doors. And especially if you're boondocking and you're going to have doors or something open. So a lot of people will tell you face west, face east, face north, face south, and I honestly typically park where I have the best view, but sun and heat always overrides that. And if I have to, or if I can, I park with my windshield facing west, because I have this windshield cover, and the windshield is thicker than my single pane windows on the RV, and I have windows all the way around the side and the back, and so I face with my windshield facing west, and so that I can have the least sun shining in the single panes. So I don't know that there's any rule of thumb for which direction to face. Certainly when it's windy, and that's why I can't always have my awnings out here. It's very windy, and especially when you're out boondocking, you may want to face into the wind, especially if you're high, so that you don't get the rocking. But I've never found that the rocking was so much that I got so scared that I thought I was going to tip over. And so I don't even take that into account usually. Okay, let's go inside and talk a little bit about some tips, tricks, and tools in there. Welcome to my lovely home. I just love my RV, and today we're talking about how to beat the heat in your RV. If you're interested in how to stay cool in a van and tips and tricks for keeping your personal self cool, be sure to check out the videos that have been linked above, and they are also in the video description. I talked when we were outside about keeping the windshield covered, and if you can do any awnings or shade cloth or anything like that to help keep the glass from getting hot. Inside, it's a good idea to keep your windows, the shades, the blinds closed, the curtains pulled, reflectix on them, but that you can tell that I have not done that. The reason that I have not done that is I can't stand to be cooped up. I get claustrophobic, and I can't stand to live in a cave. And remember that I have shade on either side of my RV, the entire length. And so I'm able to have this luxury even in triple digit weather. It does cost me about 5 to 7 degrees, but I'm willing to do that just to be able to see outside. And my rig is named Freebird because I love birds, and I have a bird bath outside and some feeders, and I get to watch the birds when I work this way. So anyway, that's a tip that you may want to follow. It's a tip I clearly don't follow. Fans, and anything from small, medium, or large. This one is one that has saved me over and over, especially when I was van dwelling. It is 12 volt only. But these two are USB, and I can plug them into electrical outlets when I have shore power. But I try to make sure that everything is ready to go for 12 volt because I do a lot of boondocking. I'm going to continue to do a lot of boondocking. And so fans, obviously that's common sense, help cool you down, but they also help keep the RV cool, and you can get by with higher temperatures and luxuries like keeping your blinds open when you have fans. I mentioned that I turn my AC off when I can, usually between 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning and 8 a.m. Once it starts getting around 78, 80 degrees inside, I close up and I turn the AC back on. That is my way of conserving on finances and giving the air conditioner a break, especially this used one. It's the original air conditioner in here, 1984. I have a new one on order. It's taking a long time because of all of the delays in shipping right now due to the pandemic, but I will have a new air conditioner soon, and so I need to really baby this one. So I turn it off, but I don't let it get too hot here in the RV if I can help it, so that I don't have to heat everything back up, because the material, the wood, everything gets hot if you let it get too hot. So one of the things that really helps me is I have, can y'all see that up there? I have 2 fans as well, and they are wonderful, and I can circulate the air and I can pull heat out, because you know heat rises. The other thing is it's always a good idea to have one of these pillows that goes up in here. You can put it up to where it is the wool goes up during the winter, but during the summer you put it up, and watch how it blocks the light. So you can get these on Amazon, and I'll give you the link for them. Probably everybody already knows about them, but just in case you don't and you're a newbie, I want to share that with you. Now the other thing is, if you don't have them recessed like this to be able to put a thick pillow in them, you can take your screen down, and I need to get this one down. When the HVAC guys come out, I'm going to get them to help me get this down, because I can't figure out how to get it down to clean it. But you can take the screen out and put, usually Reflectix is too thick to be able to put the screen back up, but I found out from my friend Robert, and I'm so proud of him for doing this and sharing it with you guys, that you can put up, what are those, heating blankets? All right, now I just, all of a sudden I can't remember the name of the blanket. Don't you just love Google? I had to go Google it, and it's a space blanket. So you put a space blanket up there to block the light and the sunlight from getting in. And that, of course, also, the tips that I'm giving you, some of it will help with keeping you warm in the winter as well. But today, we're talking about how to beat the heat, blistering heat, in your RV. Another tip, of course, is to cook outside whenever you can when it's hot. And again, remember, don't open your door unless you have to. So I get up early and I do all of my grilling for the day and everything outside. And also, I have an induction cooktop if I do have to cook inside, and I just love it. It is safer for me because it's not open flame. I do have a 4-drawer propane stovetop underneath here, and I love it too. But during the summer, I don't want to heat up my RV, so if I have to cook inside, I use my induction cooktop, and I just love it. And again, look for the description in the video, the link in the video description. And so for outside, I have a butane stove, and I like my butane stove, and I'll cover that in another video instead of propane. And I grill. And be sure to insulate the interior of your exterior walls if you can. I know that might sound odd, but what I mean by that is, for example, you can see that the interior of that exterior wall is not insulated, and I have fabric that is falling down from the ceiling inside the cabinets. And so what I'll need to do, and hopefully when Robert gets back and can help me, is take care of this and get some sort of insulation on that exterior wall, and especially since heat rises, on top as well. And check that in all your cabinets, and of course, for not only bugs and critters and cold, you want to be sure you have all plugs and holes plugged in your RV or your rig, whatever you're driving. And I have someone coming out to reseal the roof on here, because you also don't want leaks. But all of that helps keep your RV cool. Thank you all for being with Bendito and I on the video today. And I hope that you were able to pick up some tips and tricks, and please share yours. Also, please share my videos on social media. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you down the road. If you're interested in how to do it, how to